right, cool. We get started. 3, 2, 1. How you doing? Nah, I'm messing with you. They got his attention. What's up, y'all? This is episode 3 of KTR Know the Ropes podcast with your boy Cinko, J-Bo, and Big J Harv. How y'all doing today?
Hard, baby.
Another day on Tuesday.
That's right. Another day on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's how we do it today. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been one of those, you know.
Yes. And especially since last time we met, a lot of stuff has been going on. I tell you, that's why I love this whole 2-week concept that we got going on, because it seems like something new pops up every time, and especially these past 2 weeks, a lot.
Big stuff.
Lot of big stuff has been going on. We're just gonna get right into it because I don't like holding people back, you know. So starting off, something that we've talked about since day one, from episode 1, something that looks like that's never gonna end in a very long time for real, until something miraculous pops up or a vaccine. But we are talking about COVID-19, everyone.
Oh my God, man.
The pandemic.
Still. Now,
recently it was reported that I told y'all earlier, like a little bit last week, that WWE, they had around roughly 24 people tested positive for the virus within their company. That number has risen.
Yeah.
That number has risen, and there's not a lot of happy people about that. And as you can see from the last episode of not Raw, but the SmackDown episode on Friday, you saw it was like a limited amount of people that were there actually as wrestlers that were actually available. So you can probably like get a glimpse of like who may have it or who you might think have. A couple people came out saying
they trying to quarantine some of them.
Exactly. So with that, and we also noticed that it appears like Vince, doesn't really take this virus seriously, especially with a person of his age should, because it's his age range that's suffering the most. So with that, how do you believe that the WWE should handle this pandemic situation? Because you see that a number of major athletic organizations like MLB, NBA, NFL, they're preparing for this virus. How should the WWE go forward with handling the pandemic, knowing how close in contact they have to be with each other with performing?
Javon, you start off, because I'm so pissed off with this whole situation. Took it. So before I start ranting, please start.
Oh man. Well, I mean, it comes back to what we've been saying since the first episode. Like you said, man, we need an off season. They have enough content where they could air greatest hits, they could air greatest matches, they could air different themes every week, to fill in each block. They and still get a decent amount of ratings. Probably not the exact same, but a decent amount, because the current fan base is not the same as what it was not during the ruthless aggression and the attitude errors and all that. These are new people who are watching, so they could get it without needing the network. They could get a taste of what came before, what led up to how it is now. But yeah, they definitely just need to shut it down for a while. They need to just let everybody go home, everybody relax for a couple months, at least a couple months for them, because at the same time, like you say, they all work in close proximity with each other. They're the only ones who do that. So if they could guarantee that their company, or at least their performers, were all clean, they would have a way less chance of breakouts.
Man, I'm so dead. I agree. I agree. I'm so pissed off this situation, man. Man, when I read the report, and that report straight up said that 20 plus and growing WWE employees tested positive for COVID, and they still had a show on Friday and still had a show on Monday, like all business. I'm like, you cannot be serious. Like, what is it going to take? Actually, Forbes.com just posted an article 10 minutes ago about Vince McMahon and how he pretty much just sees this whole pandemic as just another bad virus, which explains why these athletes are consistently at risk. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, what what needs to happen? Because I've read online things like, oh, well, they probably got a contract with Fox. They probably got a contract with USA Network that they got to uphold. Who cares? MLB probably had a contract. NFL probably had a contract. NBA probably had a contract.
That's what that rainy day fund for. That's what that money's for.
But they still made a way around it. And like Jay Harv was saying, yeah, they got so much daggone content they can use. Remember back when Chris Benoit, yes, I said Chris Benoit.
Ooh, man. We have to bleep that out there. You're going to bleep that out there.
Oh, man, that's
Chris
it.
Benoit, when he apparently died or whatever, that night, Miss McMahon, he canceled his homicide limousine gimmick just so he can come out in the middle of the night, Monday Night Raw. And the entire night, he canceled the show, the venue, everything. The entire night just played replays. So you mean to tell me that if somebody dies, you can do that for the whole show. But when you're not getting fans in the first place because of a pandemic, you can't do the same thing just to give your guys a little safe break. I'm sorry, that nothing at all says, oh yeah, we need to keep the show going. Nothing. Sorry, that's my little man.
It's all good. That's what's needed. But I agree because like
think about the Chris Benoit night. That's a very good point.
Right.
Man, that's crazy.
Because the whole thing is just like, you're putting your employees at risk of their life at the end of the day.
Dude, I mean, like, what if Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion, gets COVID? Then what if Dolph Ziggler gets COVID? What's going to happen? Otis going to come into the hospital room with the briefcase like the 24/7 championship and cash in and win the belt?
I'm surprised they haven't tried to use that as a gimmick for the 24/7 title yet. Somebody sick with COVID. One of the wrestlers, whoever's champion is. R-Truth comes down with COVID and somebody sneak in his house while he sleeps because he's sick trying to recover and pin him for the title.
Man.
If they do that, we get some money. We get bread if they do that.
I just don't know how far they're going to push this, man. And it's frustrating to see them do it live every week. It hurts my soul a little bit because, you see these athletes who love the business, but they still getting in here risking because of the almighty dollar and Vince's current fantasy of believing that this COVID isn't really that serious. Man, okay, I'm going to quit being that. This whole
all right, so cool. So, all right. So, quick question. So, if you were a wrestler at your stage of life right now, would you opt out or would you keep wrestling?
Okay, so
now you can look at it like that.
It's hard because you said in my current stage. Are you talking about my current stage as like a Roman Reigns or like my current stage as a John Morrison?
Right? Are you in your prime? Like, yeah. What you doing?
We are all mid carders right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I was a mid carder and if I and
you making like a decent like $300,000 salary.
Okay.
Salary.
You're right. If you're talking about $300 salary, and if I'm smart with my money like I know I am, yeah, I'm opting out. Then it's gotten to a point where it's like my health is way more important. I make big bucks, big money. I can save it. I'm good. Now, if I was like the John Morrison, nah, man.
Exactly.
Nah, let's get in the ring.
Need that.
Right.
Need that.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, even in the mid card, I'd be the greatest mid carder of all time. So I think I would not only be the U.S. and Intercontinental champions at the same time, and probably half of the tag team champions. I'd have enough money that I could sit at home. They probably have to take them belts off of me for me to go.
You have all the mid card titles.
That just sets up my return. And then I go up to the main title, and then I take that. So yeah, I'd be at home too. I agree with
you. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: with my lifestyle, I know I'll still be wrestling. I'm sorry, but yeah, it is what it is. Because I'm just saying I'm a money fan, so I know I just need that money back.
This dude is too honest.
Yeah,
you honest.
Yeah, I'm just being real. That's how it is. So.
That's so. Jesus Christ, kid.
Yeah, but we see the whole thing with the coronavirus and everything, and like we talked about before in the early episodes about how this virus, this new stage of WWE, the new normal, and everything.
Yeah,
it's providing new opportunities for other wrestlers, that really hasn't gotten a shot backstage. And tying into this, we see that wrestler Charlotte Flair is now injured. And now she'll be out of the women's division for a good minute.
Good.
About time.
And with that, Charlotte's been everywhere. She's been the face of all 3 titles, from NXT women's division to SmackDown women's division, the Raw women's division, getting the title shot, being the headliner for the women.
Yeah.
Now she's out the picture.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna hurt the women's division, personally. Personally.
Of course you do. She's not needed. Go ahead.
Because really, look at like who she carry. I'm being real. She is carrying that division during this hard time.
But the only reason why she's carrying the division is because they're not investing as much into other athletes like they are.
Exactly.
Is it because of that, or because they're not, entertaining?
Confident. They're not confident in the other women because they don't give them a chance. You telling me that the best use right now for Sasha Banks is to be in a tag team with Bayley while Bayley holds the title?
Oh no, I don't like Bayley neither. So I mean,
but seriously, you're telling me that there are no other deserving women on the roster that can step up and fill that void?
I could think about
without Charlotte.
I could think just maybe
Charlotte
3 off the top of my head, and that's it at the most, probably.
So why you could take those 3 over that 1? You could with Charlotte hogging all the space. Why can't those 3 take up the space of that 1? And then you have more from the bottom to fill in where those 3 are. Maybe you get 6 out of them. They have to give more opportunities. They really do.
And also, not to take away from Charlotte, like she is definitely going to go down as one of the greatest women athletes in all the
John Cena.
I'm not taking away from that. But like you said, John Cena, like we needed a break from John Cena. Not saying that John Cena is one of the greatest. We're just saying we need a break from it for a minute. Charlotte, she can come back. She can be dominant, whatever. But they just brought up Bianca Belair. They finally gave Nikki Cross a chance. I mean, you got numerous women that you can do something with. Just invest. That's it. That's why
Becky was on the floor. Becky was at the bottom of the barrel, and they gave her a chance, and look at what she did.
It worked with Becky. I'll give it that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
So it's gonna work with Nikki Cross.
Give him a shot. Nah, probably not.
All right then.
But that's one. That's one. Bianca Belair, man.
I want to see her because I
know she cold.
She is. That was one of the 3 I would say that deserves it.
Oscar can still out wrestle anybody.
Who?
She's Oscar. She can still out wrestle anybody.
Yeah.
Naomi never really got another chance, and Naomi's athletic as hell. Like they have people that they can work with. They really do. They just don't.
Yeah. Like Charlotte, man. Look, Charlotte being gone is a good thing. It's going to help the women's division, but it's going, like Sam said, it will hurt the women's division if they do not take advantage of the other women there. If they just pass the title around, the division around, yes, it is going to hurt the division. If they just wait for Charlotte to come back, it's going to hurt them a whole lot harder than what we're seeing now. But if they take this time and say, all right, let's build up a good division for Charlotte to come back to, great, now we got a conversation.
I get it. I can see it. I'm still gonna miss Charlotte on TV because that was the main reason I was watching the women's matches for real. She cold and she cold on the microphone too. So I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna tire. I'm getting tired of hearing Oscar just saying like it's coming out of it. I'm sorry,
but you're not tired of Charlotte dragging out all of her words and walking back and forth and then bending forward to talk to people. Wow, Sam. A little biased, Sam. Wow. Yeah.
I've never heard a Charlotte Flair imitation.
There you go. But you knew what it was. That's her. That's exactly
that's really how she sounds.
Yeah, man, she annoys me on the microphone.
That's gonna mess me up because now when she do a promo, I'm gonna think about Harv talking like that, and I'm gonna start to dislike her now. So it's probably a good reason why she off to you for a while, so I can't think about that.
Oh, that's messed up.
Man,
I'll be here to remind you.
And I straight up thought that Javon played a Charlie Clip in the background.
He just did that. Anyway. Okay, moving on from that before I just ruin my whole perception of Charlotte Flair. Yeah, since we're on the topic of women in wrestling, we're gonna speak about basically the whole, I guess it's called the Me Too movement, basically, or the speaking out. That's what's been going trending.
Yeah,
the what?
Women in wrestling. Now it's apparently it's been going on for a while. It's expected. It's a lot more men than women in the business. So
yeah,
and this comes unfortunately for them at the same time. But we've seen wrestlers recently and referees actually get released for these allegations. So far, a couple referees got released today.
Yeah.
Jack Gallagher got released. Enzo got released a couple years ago for the same thing, but it wasn't somebody in wrestling, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole, it all just takes is somebody say something on social media and bam.
Yeah.
It probably been wild back in the day because social media wasn't out, so we don't know it. During that attitude era, I swear it'll probably been so much shit. It'll probably been so much that would have been said back in the day. But they got lucky.
I remember, not even too long ago, Randy Orton was talking trash on what's her name? Kelly. He called a ring rat.
Yep.
Somebody else came out and called Alexa Bliss a ring rat.
Yep.
So it's not even the fact that it's the climate that it's being talked about more that makes it seem like it happened more. We know it happened.
Yeah.
Triple H and damn Stephanie McMahon. That's a whole scandal. He was messing with China, and then not China messed with X. Like it's all kind of crap went on, man. Like I feel like, of course, we know that women have been taken advantage of in the business, especially knowing that up until recently, the standard for a female wrestler, the divas, didn't know how to wrestle worth a damn.
Right.
There were models that they tried to train to wrestle, and while there were Trish Stratus's out there wasn't a lot of them. You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah. So
they showed it. They had a lot of stuff for Playboy and everything. They had calendars.
Yeah, every year, a different female talent was on Playboy
calendar. Yeah,
and now China. They remember that was something that they used to keep China out of the Hall of Fame, was that they didn't want you to be able to Google her and nude pictures and videos and stuff of her come up. But they was cool inducting anybody else. Like everybody back then took, for WWE, had the risque photo shoots, the thongs and naked with just a title of car. Melina had them, you know what I'm saying? I remember those, we all remember. But it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. Now that we're conscious of it, I feel like we really have to give it its proper respect and pay it its proper attention.
Yeah. Yeah, piggyback on that. Yeah, it's definitely been going on. There's no question. It's just that, like J. Harv said, we're definitely in a climate now where, it's out there. We can talk about it. Other people is talking about it. So, like, why don't we, speak up and say something about it too? So it's a normal thing. One thing I will say for sure, however, NXT UK is done. Like pretty much half their roster was accused of multiple allegations. So yeah, that's pretty much done. It's definitely going to take a huge effect on the wrestling business, but it's a good effect. Like stuff like that needs to come to light anyway. We all know stuff like that. It's been happening. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is that, have the Attitude Era. I mean, that was the thing, to have that opinion and talk that way and do that way with the women, and then even with some of the other men backstage, like that was just the thing. Now we're in a different climate now. It's different. It's different now. So now it's like, okay, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Right.
It's different now. So.
Yeah. So, following up with that, with the close out with that, we wish all the women in the business the best, and like how we want to prove for everybody,
Yeah.
Want everybody to be treated fair and equally, and shouldn't have to be doing this to the people that give us life.
Right. Yeah. We stand with y'all. Like
right.
Stand with y'all.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, the biggest news of them all that's happened in the past 2 weeks. That's finally.
Don't do it, Sam.
That's finally came to an end. Maybe.
Shoot.
The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, has finally announced his retirement from WWE in-ring activities.
That hurt.
I remember I was watching the documentary. I saw he said that. I texted y'all me. I'm like, hey, Undertaker just retired on this documentary. I didn't think that was gonna be the way I was gonna find out. I thought I was gonna find out on the show, but that was dope because this documentary followed up behind MJ's Last Dance, and I'm like, this was perfect time for me to keep me busy for the next Sundays. Because MJ documentary was every Sunday, then this came up on Sundays. Like, this is perfect. This spanned out for a good 8 to 9 weeks for me. So,
right, yeah.
With this, the Undertaker retiring, do you think it's the end for him?
Undertaker, he said something during his last ride. He said, in case of emergency, break glass. In other words, I mean, if there's ever a moment where they truly need him, he'll definitely come back. But like he said, he has no feeling for in-ring competition anymore. So overall, he's done, but never say never. Never say never.
I think that he's done. I think they might bring him back for a gimmicky match in the future like they do with all of the more elderly competitors. I feel like he's finally feeling his mortality. For real. Yeah. I mean, he should have retired a few years ago. Yeah, I remember when he left all his stuff in the ring, and I told y'all that night, I believed he was done, and I told you he wasn't done. I believe he's done this time. I remember that. I believe he's done this time. There's no theatrics. There was nothing fancy to it. He did it in an interview. I do believe he's done. I feel like he should be done. I feel like it was a bad time to do it. Not really time, but I feel like he should have stopped at a WrestleMania. WrestleMania is where he should have.
He technically did stop at WrestleMania.
He should have announced it then. It should have just been that. We shouldn't have had to wait to hear it on. The way he did it is fine. I just feel like we knew. He should have retired in the ring. In a way, yeah,
but it was still better that he did that documentary way.
Yeah,
it was a good.
Retire in the ring. I feel like you should retire. In the ring.
Right.
That's me. To retire in the ring.
But he had that theatrical boneyard match, so he couldn't really retire right then and there. It would have been the same. It's no pop for it.
That's true too. Yeah.
Right.
So I
that might have had to do with it.
There were some people online that were saying, he deserves, to retire in front of a large crowd, standing ovation, things like that. And trust me, I completely agree. But Undertaker had moments where he could have done that, where, in my opinion, I think after the second match he had with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, which is one of the greatest matches, in my opinion, that should have been it at that point. He was already old at that point. But I think
he was, but he still had more in the tank.
Right. I think for him, he was like, I still have more. And I think that's what's been happening over the year. I still got more. Now he did the Bone War match. Now COVID's here. Now there ain't no crowd. It's like, shoot, what else can I do now?
Right, exactly. So, shoot, you what's the point? He's like, I ain't finna risk my health now. I'm at my age. I don't blame him. So,
I'm gonna be the dead man for real.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but I feel like with Taker, he probably gonna pull a Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels, he was really done when he retired, but it probably took a whole lot out of him, or for somebody to get him to come back in the ring one more time just for that match.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
the funny thing
was that is Shawn Michaels retired in his 40s.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Had time to do that.
So he was fresh.
Undertaker in his 50s. He wait 7 years to come back.
Yeah.
You're right. I forgot to put his age in there because he's like 55, 56.
Man.
Yeah.
There's a clip there's a clip on YouTube online of him going to church and him being prayed to by a pastor and the whole congregation. I'm like, all right, he's done for real now.
Right.
Like, the dead man went to church. Like, yeah, he done for real.
Man.
Nothing left.
Wow.
It hurts.
Yeah, that's
Man.
nuts. I ain't know it
That's
was church.
funny, but yeah. Sorry to tell you couldn't go out in front of front of a big crowd of over hundreds of thousands of people, but no, we respect your legacy and all that you've done within the business.
Absolutely.
Definitely a GOAT in my eyes. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He should be on everybody's top 5. I don't see how he doesn't make it in anybody's top 5.
Easy, yeah. Him, The Rock, and Eddie Guerrero. They was like the first 3 guys that like got me into wanting to watch wrestling. You know, and Undertaker, his mystique. Like I was talking to my fiance about this. You know, Undertaker, he has a mystique about him that no one can ever compare to. Period. Cannot. You know, we may have different people with different mistakes, like especially for this generation, but for our generation, there's no topping Undertaker. They're just nothing. No.
Our generation and the generation before us, for real.
Real. Right.
He spanned 2. He did at least 2 generations worth.
Right.
Man. Yeah, definitely.
So, as we conclude this 3rd episode of KTR, we are about to do our lightning round, and I have 5 questions for y'all. Y'all just gotta get the straightforward answers. No thinking, no discussion. Just get right into it. All right.
All right.
5 questions. They real random. You ready?
All right.
First question: how long will Matt Riddle not wear shoes?
Until he break his ankle like Rusev did.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I see a resume. I'm like, this is not gonna last long.
Somebody gonna step on his pinky toe wrong, and he gonna
He gonna do that one flip over the ring and land his ankle on that steel on the ramp. That's it.
That's gonna be it.
So I give him about like 3 months.
I'll give him till at least when Vince retires, because that's going to happen a whole lot sooner than later. Yeah, I'll give it there. Yeah.
You say the same thing, Harv?
I don't think he's gonna stop until he break his ankle.
Okay, that's timetable right there.
I don't really have a time frame, but once he feel that,
when he break his ankle,
he feel that, he done.
All right, cool. Second question: when will Otis cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase?
I would say before the summer's out.
Or
before the end of the year was gonna be mine. So yeah, pretty close to that.
So before the
I don't
summer,
think he's gonna make it. He's not gonna make it in the WrestleMania season with it.
Okay,
No.
so sometime this year, basically.
Yeah, sometime this year.
Next question. All right, who has the best entrance music right now?
Man, who has the best?
The best entrance music right now.
Okay, so just the music, not the entrance.
Not the entrance, just the music.
I don't know. The Usos be going hard. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, they did that remix, had their voice to it. That did get good.
Yeah. Shoot. The best entrance music. I'm sticking with Usos.
I like Aleister Black.
Of course you would.
I like Aleister Black. I like the Fiend too though. He remixed his pretty hard too. He remixed that Mark Krosner song pretty hard. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say mine's AJ Styles.
Really?
Yes. That's on hard. I
don't like AJ for that, man. He used DMX at the Royal Rumble.
He did.
And he's a flat earther. He's a Confederate head. Get him out of there. Nah, he cold. He cold. I just don't agree with him personally.
All right, now next, who has the best entrance?
Who has the best entrance?
The Fiend.
Bray Wyatt. Okay. The best entrance.
Best entrance. Dang. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of one better than the Fiend, honestly, and I'm trying. I don't want to say the Fiend, but I can't think of nobody else right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Street Profits.
Man.
They go through the crowd, they interact. That's why I like it. So yeah, it's not a good idea right now, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but beforehand it was cool because when me and Harv was at Raw that one show back in October, they came on our side. We seen like right there. So,
came right through. Yep,
right. You was on the other side, J-Bo, so you see it. So you just saw the heads up and down. All right, last question. Who is the Mount Rushmore of the WWE?
Dude. All right.
Get 4, because we only got like 2 minutes left before it's shut down.
The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
Oh, wow, that was quick. Good job.
Yeah. What about you, JR?
The Rock, I'd say the same, but I feel like Cena has to go up there too. He held it down for like 10, 15 years by himself.
Yeah.
He has to go up there. He held it down for longer than anybody else up there except the Undertaker by himself. And Undertaker wasn't by himself. He always had good competition. Cena had to elevate people to his level. And I am not a Cena fan. Y'all know I do not like Cena at all. But just to be fair, he held it down by himself. So I feel he deserves to be up there. I don't know who he would replace, but he deserves to be up there.
For me, I'm going to say Cena, Undertaker, The Rock.
Come on. If you say Enzo, I'm going to throw this phone right now.
I thought about it. And Stone Cold Steve Austin. There we go.
Okay, there you go.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was between him and Shawn Michaels. I'm going Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold over Shawn. I get that.
Yeah, but now it looks like that's all the time we have.
All right, cool.
Before this thing shuts off. Before we get back to this a couple weeks for episode 4, but this has been Know the Ropes podcast. It's your boy Cinko with J-Bo and J Harv, episode 3.
Yes, sir.
Live and direct, and we are out.
Yeah. Said I'm about to bring it back to the block. Like my pocket holds a packet full of rocks, and I'm packing me a pack. And my quick is the most hazardous of flocks that you couldn't count. A steady counting numbers from the record.